the imposter syndrome. We don't trust ourselves in certain areas. We don't feel strong enough. So we prefer to hide in comfort zones and, you know, wherever possible, rather than take a risk and try something new. So I think trust plays a very important role, self-trust.
Just the process of building trust within me, and the work that I do with my clients also is going from this, you know, seeking our sense of peace and our sense of safety and our sense of trust from outward control, controlling our surroundings, to recognizing that I will find this trust and this peace and this calm in knowing and trusting myself, knowing that I have my own back, knowing that no matter what happens in my life, no matter the change that it just keeps coming, I will look out for me, and I will know my needs, and I will communicate my needs, and I will have my best interest at heart. And that's for sure been a journey from imposter syndrome and being stuck in other people's heads, trying to control what they would think of me to feel good about myself, into feeling good about myself genuinely from knowing and enjoying spending time with myself. That's been such a cool process.
And a long-term process, right? It doesn't happen overnight.
That is for sure. It does not happen overnight.
Yeah.
I've been pretty amazed in the amount of time it takes to truly build new belief and new behavior that feels natural. And there's kind of a gap in there where you feel kind of like you're pretending, and you feel like you're kind of putting on a show, if you will, because you're deliberately choosing a new behavior. You're choosing to up level. You're choosing to build a healthy, secure relationship. You're choosing to, you know, have a more fulfilling career, whatever the area is that you're taking that like leap into. I think imposter syndrome for me is like what happens in that gap. It's what happens in the, you know, you're in the air of the leap where you're like, okay, I'm headed in the right direction, but like, am I going to land on solid ground? And it takes, even doing that, taking that leap, it takes a lot of leaps before you're like, yeah, I can leap. I can leap and I can land, you know, I can do new things and succeed. I can try something different and see how it works. And, you know, you kind of alluded to that in our first chat about trust, Maria, was that, you know, trust somebody and see what happens. And I think that the same goes for us and our lives. It's like, try the new thing, see what happens, treat it like an experiment. And then you can take whatever you learn and use it to build trust. It's not a pass, fail, you know, succeed, or I should have never done this. We just get to learn in that process. And I think being open and being a learner for me is what is kind of the opposite of being an imposter, you know, because the imposter is like, I have to pretend to know things I don't know. The learner is like, I know nothing. I'm here to find out. And I think that's really liberating.
Yeah, and you used a strong keyword. You've mentioned authenticity. And in my line of work, we always talk about authenticity with clients, that they have to be authentic, they have to be themselves, they cannot create a persona. Personas are fake, and fake is easily spotted, and all these beautiful things. And then one client asked me, but you know what? We are designing a better version of myself, and we've identified these values and these habits and these behaviors that I want to have in the future. But whenever I implement them, I feel like a fake, that I am putting on an act, as you said, Stina. And this is a very common misconception about authenticity. Being authentic means that you are following the values, the behaviors, the actions that you want to own. Whether you have them right now or you want to have them in the future doesn't really matter. It is who you want to be. So you're still authentic. You're just practicing the behaviors that you want to have. What's not authentic is imitating someone else just, for the sake of it, or the fame, or stupid ideas. By imitating, you're not owning those behaviors. So that's fake, that's not authentic. That's the main difference. So what you've been describing is completely natural, completely authentic, and completely understandable.
Mhm. Well, that's so cool. That takes me to filters. Stina was kind of talking decisions and choices, and I thought, yeah, you can filter your life through that. And then you're talking kind of filters too. And what is the outcome that you really want? And what filter are you using? Are you using a filter to just pretend to be somebody, or are you using a filter for the outcome of, like you said, being a better version of yourself? So yeah, that's where I went in my head, was filters.
Yeah, so true. And also, since you've mentioned decisions and choices, I always say make decisions, don't make choices. And the difference is you go for an ice cream, you stand in front of the ice cream thing, and you go like, should I have chocolate or vanilla? And you make a random choice and you go, let's just have vanilla. Don't. Think what it is that you want right now and why do you want it right now? And making these conscious decisions really, really changes your life in every single level. It has changed my life in respect to body weight, believe it or not, because I've been struggling with every single diet there is on this planet. But then I said, no, it's a matter of decision. How do I want to nurture myself? Period. Every time I open my mouth to put some food in it, I have to think about it. Is this what I want? And even if it's chocolate or something, crazy, if you really want it, of course you can have it. Yeah. But you really, really need to have a good excuse, that I really want it for these reasons right now.
I love that. Yeah, we all have choices. They're called decisions. I love your breakdown of that. That's excellent. Thank you.
About the imposter syndrome and building the trust in ourselves, that just reminded me that when I work as a hypnotherapist, when we're kids, we easily adapt new things. Like up till the age of 7, it's kind of, it just happens, we learn so fast. We're like little sponges. But after that, we have to have repetitions to learn everything from tying our shoes, riding a bike, driving a car. We have to do it over and over and over again until we can do it without thinking. And it's the same thing when it comes to changing our behavior. So that's why hypnotherapists are having such fast what's it called change in many people, because we can work in the depth. We work with the recording that they don't want anymore, and we can help them change that, instead of they using years of repetition, like catching themselves in the bad behavior. Oh yeah, I did it again. Okay, start over again. Doing all of this. So and that builds the trust in being authentic faster for many, because they get the core feeling, the feeling in their heart, in their soul, that this is my recording, even though we have more or less just planted it there, and can help them faster to reach their goal of a specific behavior or what's it called, skill or something that they want to work on, to become the better version of themselves, or yeah.
Well, I guess in your profession, trust is really, really major, because it's easy in my profession. I mean, they trust me, fine. There's nothing that can go that wrong, and I'm not putting them to sleep and do things with their brains, but in your case,
Well,
That's very interesting how you build trust with your clients.
yeah, well, all hypnosis is self-hypnosis, so I can't make them do anything, give me their account numbers and stuff. If they don't want to. They are awake, they're not sleeping. Yeah.
Okay, good. Good
Yeah.
to know.
I love it.